Hello NYWCites, I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Trust no one 2014 is in the books, and I know this is very late with this recap, but what a show it turned out to be. And even though I arrived late for the show after having to work overtime and train delays, here's how the show went down. Well, I missed the first two matches, but special thank you to fellow NYWCite Jamie, and I'll get back to him very shortly, for letting me know. The opening matchup saw Jesse Vane and Matt Justice defeat the Grim Reaper and the Latin Dragon. Second match of the night saw the Big O defeat Earl Cooter. And the next matchup, which is where my cousin and I walked into the building, we saw a return battle from Going the Distance last month as Battlestar Galactica, Drew Gulak and Chainsaw Joe Gacy defeated Premier Athlete Anthony East and the Greek God Papadon, a very good match. Up next, Francis Kipling Stevens comes out and he addresses what's been all the chaos that Brian Vitko and company have been putting him in through for the last few months, and he noticed Vitko all alone in the crowd. King Mega comes out with Jimmy Van Leemer and now, I guess, former referee Joey Conway tied with their hands tied and their mouths gagged, and Mega and Francis did a number on these two. Vitko, to the point, jumped over the rail and security grabbed him, placed him back over the rail, and as they were trying to throw him out the back door, Vitko eventually grabbed like 2 chairs and was throwing them around. And so Francis gets a taste of revenge on the guys who've been like putting him through so much ever since April. Back to the matches as we saw the Lariat, DJ Hyde, and Flawless Blake Morris defeat Team Tremendous, Dan Barry and Bill Carr, after Apollyon interfered, nailing a carless metal object, and Crusher Dugan took the microphone and couldn't quite hear him thanks to the microphone constantly malfunctioning, and Aria Cadenza was out there as well. But I don't know where they're going with this one, but remains to be seen, I guess. Up next, the Devil's Outlaw Stockade defeated J-Ro in a last man standing match. Quite an ending with J-Ro ripping off the mat of the ring, only to be pile driven very severely by Stockade. After the match, Stockade took the microphone and declared his respect for J-Ro, and they basically shook hands. I believe they did. I know when the match ended, I went off to use the bathroom. They had an intermission after that, and then the action resumed with a triple threat match, which saw Marty Bell and the Boy Diva Rick Cataldo defeat Chrissy Rivera to become co-holders of the Starlet Championship. After winning the belt, Bell and Cataldo continued the onslaught until Sammy Pickles tried to make the save, only to have a chair kicked in her face by Bell. Eventually, Chrissy's real-life boyfriend, J-Ro, hits the ring, and I don't know where they're going with that one. Up next, in 8-man tag team action, Reckless and Wasted, Braden Knight and JT Kaysen, Habali Jr., and the Stallion, Anthony Lacerra, defeated the A-listers, Absolute Alvin, Kano, J-Red, and new A-lister, Ultimo Maya. Very good matchup. Up next, the Desolate One, Rex Lawless, defeats Robbie E. to retain the Fusion Championship. The Lariat, DJ Hyde, comes to the ring and announces to the crowd that his promotion, Combat Zone Wrestling, will be having a show at the NYWC Sportatorium on Saturday, November the 1st. I'm thrilled to hear about that, and I can't wait to see CZW live. As they say, they are like nothing else. I've been watching their show, kind of following their product for years, back in the really bloodthirsty days when Zandig ran the company. Up next, the Juicy Product, David Starr and JT Dunn defeated Milk Chocolate, Randy Summers, and Brandon Watts to retain the Tag Team Championship. Very good matchup, and for a team that only debuted just over a year ago, Milk Chocolate has come a very long way. And in our main event, Mikey Whipwreck was set to defend the championship against No Fear Mike Mondo, but the Big O had come out and was wearing a striped shirt and said he would referee the main event, and Mikey Whipwreck ended up defeating Mike Mondo after Big O spine-busted Mondo, enabling Whipwreck to get the pin. But then after the match ended, Big O spine-busted Whipwreck. I guess it's a little bit of a receipt or a payback from going the distance where Whipwreck inadvertently spit green mist into the eyes of the Big O. Well, it's time for the personal notes. It was great sitting with fellow NYWCite Jamie. Thanks to my cousin Edward for coming along and driving me to the show and driving me to the train after it was over. Great seeing Charlie and Josh, Greg and Sarah, Oliver, Chris, AJ, the great Jim Lundis, Shane, Steve Forge, Steven Scogan. He was sitting near us as well. What else do I remember seeing in the crowd? Vinny the Guido de Benedetto. Wow, that was a mouthful. I think he left before that show ended. Well, NYWC returns on Thursday, August 21st, with Hotter Than Hell, and that's taking place during my vacation time, so work will not be a factor for me that day. But here is the wish list for Hotter Than Hell. I'd like to see a three-way match pitting Mikey Whipwreck versus Mike Mondo versus the Big O for the Heavyweight Championship. I'd like to see a rematch, Juicy Prog defending the Tag Team title against Milk Chocolate. I'd like to see Marty Bell and Rick Cataldo against Jay Rowe and Chrissy Rivera, or Chrissy Rivera and Sammy Pickles. I'd like to see Francis Kipling Stevens and King Mega take on DJ Hyde and Flawless Blake Morris. Reckless and Wasted against Matt Justice and Jesse Vane. I can see Bill Carr one-on-one with Apollyon, unless Apollon's going to have a brand new partner to fight Team Tremendous. I wonder why Rack and Sack was not on this particular show. Let's see. King Mega, Francis Kipling Stevens, Aria Cadenza, Apollyon, and Sammy Pickles all did not have matches on this event. Great talking with the great Jim Lundis again. I think, dang it. Oh, man. What a rush. Crap. Dang it. I was like, oh boy. Definitely was a great crowd that came out, and, you know, I know it's shocking that I ended up late for this show and nobody expected that. And Shane had told me that as I came to after I came in that, you know, they thought I had canceled and that front row was oversold. But there won't be a problem August 21st. I'm on vacation at that time. Work's not a factor. My cousin was telling me there was someone he knows that wanted to come to the show, so maybe I'll alert my cousin about it, and he'll tell his friend. Okay, I think that will do it from here. NYWC rules.